Hi dreamers. So today I wanted to talk about trauma dreams, and in particular a trauma dream that I experienced a few years ago. And I feel it really helps to illustrate just how our dreams can not only help us to process trauma, but to also recontextualize trauma. So trigger warning, this dream is related to a miscarriage. And the dream itself was probably only about 5 to 10 seconds long. So it was almost like a snapshot of a dream. And in the dream, which occurred probably about a month after my miscarriage, it started off with this overly camp, colourful gay man. And he was holding this puppy. And he was standing on a balcony in like a theatre environment. And suddenly the balcony collapsed and the puppy fell out of his arms, and he was so distraught. His hands went to his face and he screamed, "Oh no, my baby." And the puppy plummeted basically to its death. And on awakening, I was able to pretty much kind of interpret and relate this dream to my miscarriage. It was quite obvious to me that the gay man represented all the emotions that I wasn't able to experience at the time, but were there. And the collapse of the balcony itself was really symbolic of my uterus collapsing. And of course, the puppy was highly symbolic of the embryo that fell from the uterus, my uterus. And probably a few days later, I worked with some colleagues on this dream. We had a group therapy session, and within dream therapy, or embodied imagination therapy as it's called, we were able to transit and fully embody the gay man. And in doing so, I was able to really access this full range of emotions that I had been experiencing and connect with the emotions that I couldn't really process at the time because of my circumstances. So this over-the-top dramatic man really allowed me to feel his sense of loss and distress and also shock about what had happened. But it was really interesting when I transited into the puppy's perspective. Just embodying that puppy, the puppy was completely oblivious and unaware of its surroundings, and also it had no sense of self-awareness. And that was really comforting to me, being in this state of the puppy that was oblivious and had no idea what was going on, because I realized that the actual embryo itself was oblivious and it didn't feel any pain, it didn't feel any sort of loss or connection. So that allowed me to kind of view the experience from the perspective of the puppy, and it really opened my awareness of the experience itself. And it's interesting because now I have a real fondness for the puppy and also for the gay man, the overly camp man. And when I look back on my experience, the trauma of my miscarriage, I also have this fondness for the man and the puppy. So they've kind of integrated into my experience as a whole. And I don't view the experience as traumatic as it was. There's a softness and a fondness to it now. And I want to paraphrase famous psychologist James Hillman, who said that we're all going to experience trauma or some level of trauma, whether that's on the lower end or the higher end of the spectrum. But if we can work with our trauma in a way that encompasses our dreams and allows us to remember the trauma in a less traumatic way, then that's going to be a real positive in not so much moving forward, but in integrating and recontextualizing the trauma within our lives. It's really interesting. Some studies in neuroscience have revealed that that war veterans that actually dreamt about their experiences and who had PTSD symptoms, they found that the veterans who dreamt about their experiences showed improvement in their PTSD symptoms, and their brain scans actually changed. They showed new neural pathways in their brain scans in comparison to war veterans that didn't dream about their experiences. They didn't show improvement in their PTSD symptoms over time, and their brain scans remain the same. So I find that highly fascinating, and I hope you guys have found this fascinating as well. If so, please leave a comment in the comment section, and if you feel okay to share your trauma dream or a dream that may have helped you with a difficult situation in your life, I'd love to read about it on dreamcubator.co. That's my online dream platform where you can post and share your dreams, and I'll provide comments. If you feel that you could benefit from some dream therapy, please get in touch. I'll leave my contact details below, and also the link to the Embodied Imagination Institute. Thanks, dreamers, and I'll be back with some more dream content in the next video.